Blood Bowl. I'm Complacent Badger.
I'm Circulo.
And we are watching the Crazy Eights versus the Hills of the Ball.
I think that the Hills have the ball, smashed the Crazy Eights good the last time they played, but came a little short on the actually scoring a touchdown portion of the Blood Bowl. But that was pretty early, or that was, what, middle of the season?
Yeah, I think it was like week 5 or 6, so I think right in the middle.
So I like that they've changed their strategy a little bit. And if they still manage to do a little bit of hitting, I think that the Crazy Eights are going to be on the back foot. Not that I think that the Crazy Eights are going to lose, but I think that the Hills have the ball, have a really good chance of making this a tight match.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be well, putting your Ogres on the line on the kicking team is not a good move, especially against this team.
Yeah, and going for the demon on the side.
Ooh, bold move.
Critical success.
He's got sure hands, so it's not that crazy. It's Crazy Eights. Bloodthirster going first action. Couldn't resist and puts him down. Shouldn't say first action. He moved 2 other players. Couldn't resist it. Frenzied into it was a frenzied into a 1-die. Frenzy trap. So maybe
maybe you know what?
Maybe the Ogres on the line were a great idea because you tricked the Bloodthirster into putting himself down against you. I thought
Bloodthirster gets tricked a lot.
I thought he was over that.
Yep. Well, I don't know. What are you supposed to do with that guy? I mean, that's his one job. So if you put your Bloodthirster on the line, match him against that. Yeah.
You wait until you've done everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, he got the ball, which is important, and then he moved 1 other dude, and then first of all, he shouldn't, I mean, he knew that the guy had frenzy, so why didn't he bring somebody else to get that extra assist on the backside? He might not have put himself down had he got another die.
Right. No, I'm there.
Alright, so he does know there's an ogre right there, right?
Maybe he's hoping for that. You can't hope for that. As soon as you start hoping for Bonehead, you're boned. Wild animal staying on the ground.
Yep, so it's going to be even strength unless 1 Snotling comes over here, and then the ogre has the advantage. But the demon does have dodge, so that is 1 benefit.
Yeah, but the idea would be to pin him back further. If you could at least push him back, it wouldn't be too bad.
Didn't need to take the Snotling all the way over there to absorb those assists, but works, I guess. It's not as good as dead, but push.
So he's blocked in there pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, all it takes is killing this Snotling real fast, and then if the Bloodthirster gets up and actually can, do that first, I guess, because we haven't learned. Alright, so KO, and let's see a touchdown. So this guy got the movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 go. Oh nope, he's movement 5, so no touchdown this turn. Using the guard guy as out on the wing and not helping with dealing with these ogres. That's interesting.
Yep.
It seems like it's not watching your players.
Yeah, he's lucky that a couple boneheads. I mean, that's a lot of 1s. You forget that. Every time that you see that over top of a guy, it means he threw a 1.
And staying adjacent to these ogres on purpose, like.
He must have. Yeah. What are you going to do there?
I just noticed that Dribble Snot's off to the side. Opted not to use him in the first drive.
That's an interesting. I like that.
Mm-hmm. I've done it once or twice with a couple of my secret weapons. Didn't really like it. I thought the secret weapons, just because of how unreliable they are, you kind of have to have them all at the same time for any of them to work properly.
Yeah.
Okay, getting out of there. Injuring a Snotling. Badly hurt. He'll be back.
Got to be injuring all those Snotlings.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so Ogres just kind of between Bonehead and just throwing blocks instead of using the break tackle to cover the ball carrier. The ball carrier is kind of just gone unmolested. Snotlings just, I guess they were just kind of hanging out too. I don't know. Maybe it was a quick turnover that I didn't catch, but it looked like there wasn't a lot of resistance to that ball carrier.
So was that, what did he do there? Did he... He got injured, and then Crazy 8's, did he dodge out, or did he just got an injured player, and I didn't see what happened.
Throw teammate.
No, Crazy 8's.
Oh.
Crazy 8's had, like, I don't know if he dodged, or he had a one-die tackle or something.
I don't know. Ooh. I guess he just failed a block against that ball carrier.
It was it was down by the Ogre.
No, I was just saying just now.
Oh, yeah.
It's already 2 turns past.
That's true.
I'm very confused by this game. We're being bad commentators right now. I think it's because just a lot of unorthodox moves being played. That we're like, is this Blood Bowl? Again?
Yeah, it's one of those things where sometimes I just don't understand what's going on.
Okay, so Ogres are on the line this time. And it looks like Crazy 8's only feeding him 3 players. Hopefully they're not good. Strength 4
That's
player.
exactly what you need to be doing.
Strength 4 player is probably not the one I'd put on the line. He doesn't matter. Probably not the guard guy either. I'd probably be putting block.
Because that guard skill doesn't do...
Yeah, nothing by itself. If you're gonna put the 5 and the guard up, put them all together so that, you know what I mean? So that that one
exactly
strength 4
saying.
becomes strength 5. Put block up there, because not all the Ogres have block. Only one has block. Bomb. The niggling injury, bringing it to 12 on the injury roll.
Love that.
Oof.
I'm insistent on this.
Wow. So Ogre's just bringing the pain right now.
That's how he's going to win. That's how the Hills have the ball win, is by causing a lot of damage.
The way you win with Ogres is smart Snotling plays.
Yeah, but I think against the Crazy 8's that he has trouble playing against full teams. And you're going to need to do a lot of damage to his players if you hope to keep a player advantage against him.
True. Yeah, if you just run Snotling nets and just weird cages, I don't think the Crazy 8's could get to the Snotlings. But when you just leave open routes to your Snotlings. But dodge.
That helps. That's a big deal.
Oof. Another injury. That Bloodthirster just racking up points against Snotlings.
Just feeding the beast.
I just want to know how Snotlings are like ending their turns adjacent to players. Like, you should never be losing more than 1 Snotling in turn.
Right, and due to a blitz.
Yeah. Oh! Catch.
Wowza.
Dribble Snot just teaching people what bombs do.
I really like seeing that, but I hate seeing it when it's lined up on the other side of my guys.
Yeah.
I also like watching it fail, like critically fail.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a big fan of that. But that was a really good hit.
Oh, you're leaving that snotling open. Okay, close up the lane a little bit. And it's pretty much closed now. Good job.
Can he get blitzed from behind?
No.
No, there he goes.
He can tie him up, but tying up the snotling is worthless.
Oh, yeah. Smart play.
However, he still has one turn left, so he's going to have to do a handoff, I think. Yep. This guy cannot score. He didn't. I don't know if he wasn't seeing it. See, my thing with snotlings is if I have sure feet, I go for those go-for-its every turn.
Yeah.
I do one. If it doesn't use the sure feet, I go to the next one every turn. Make every snotling their first thing is sure feet, so that I can make them all movement 7.
And that's 7's a powerful amount of moves.
Yep. And all these ogres doing things, absolutely worthless. That's not a touchdown. That's not going to get you a touchdown. So that was not good.
So that was a fairly obvious mistake.
Yeah, what a shame. Could have got a touchdown, and it really wasn't that hard of a fight to get a touchdown. Just had to really just dodge snotlings out of there.
Right. So you think he maybe learned his lesson, gets another chance at a drive? He's not
learning lesson. I don't think that happens anymore. I have no faith in humanity.
No. They play me again, and I'll teach him a fucking lesson.
Hey, look.
To be fair, AJ did learn his lesson about Claw and just tried to do something different.
Bloodweiser babes worked. One snotling back. Fuck yeah, bro. Those chicks did it.
That might be all that it takes, right?
Master Chefs did nothing this drive. Why this snotling in the middle? You bring him. When I play ogres, I always run 2 snotlings, and I put them basically 3 spaces up from the end zone. 1 there, 1 there.
Now, what's the benefit of that? That you can get the ball.
Yeah, you can get
quicker and have some movement afterwards.
Well, the important part is getting to the ball with both players, if possible, so that you have one to mark it, and then once you've done important moves, the other one to attempt to pick it up.
And that's a strategy that I like to use a lot as well. I do try to mark the ball, and we watched a very successful display of that earlier this week as well.
And this is what happens, especially with goblins or snotlings or anything like that, is that you have trouble picking up the ball generally. So you want to have the ability to try to pick up the ball every turn and have player coverage to just mark the ball so it's not easy to just sneak back here and take it from you. So you need to have better placement of your snotlings when doing that. Okay. And having all these snotlings up there when the ball is down here is worthless.
I agree with you. You're not going to create that defensive network that you need with the snotlings.
Yep.
It's too much of a chance of them getting engaged.
Mm-hmm. And Hill's doing first actions with ogres. Another reason why I don't like doing first actions with ogres unless they're bonehead already is that if my turn goes, I try to have as many ogres not bonehead as possible.
Yep.
So, like, for this guy, if I plan on not blitzing, I'll move him, just no crazy, no rules other than the bonehead roll, and then all the other ogres, unless they're really important to my plan, move all the snotlings first, because then at least the ogres are eating up tackle zones.
That's a strong strategy, and you forget that 0 tackle zones with that bonehead guy is, he might as well be down.
Yep.
It's just, it doesn't do anybody any good.
So, unfortunately, snake eyes on that dodge roll for that snotling, which means KO on the blitz for the Herald, and then Pit Fighter picks it up. So, no support for the snotling means that's going to be a touchdown.
Yep. Now, would you pick that ball up?
Yeah, there's no risk.
I agree with you there.
No risk associated.
That's a good example of when it's okay to pick it up and when it's not, because you're so far into the enemy territory that I'd rather fail the pickup this turn than fail it next turn when I can score a touchdown.
Yep. And if you fail it both times, at least you had 2 shots at it.
Yep.
I would have blitzed with this snotling. It's a long ditch effort, and it may not gain you anything, but it's also a snotling. And just getting him adjacent like that isn't.
Yeah, putting that guy into contact was not.
I mean, I guess it forced him to roll dice at the situation, but since the player had support, even if he didn't have support, strength 1, he can just blitz it and then not follow up. But he's got frenzy, so he has to follow up. So maybe, I don't know. But with the support there, it's not a good move.
Yeah, that 3 dice is pretty powerful.
I think a better use of that ogre instead of blitzing might have been to try to toss the snotling at the player.
Hey, it worked against me.
So putting the snotling back a little farther, I like that. It's a little better. I would have done a second one, obviously, like I spoke of, but starting with the ogres.
Yeah, I think it's just keeps trying to use the. I mean, the whole point is to get the ball and to move the ball. Now, if you can do that, you can do that, but he's not at a strength disadvantage right now. So even if those guys didn't move at all,
it would be relatively the same situation. I mean, he could have injured all of the guys, which would have been great because that's 4 players down. But
yeah,
and I would have brought this snotling as deep as possible. Blocking lanes is good, but if you create a pocket around this snotling with 2 snotlings, you're just like 3 snotling and going. It becomes really difficult to just take this guy. And then all the rest of the snotlings just invade the backfield, and then they're just like, I don't know where to go anymore because the ball carrier is relatively covered, where it's not just an easy one guy can just take you out. And there's so many snotlings in the backfield that if he manages to get a snotling throw or a pass that works, that's a touchdown. And
I definitely agree with that.
And snotlings 2+ all the way, man. Just if you're not just moving at full movement allowance with snotlings almost every single turn, then you better be winning already.
That's pretty cut and dry.
Well, because all their money, look at this. Dodge for getting there. Fucking sidestep for protecting you while you're there. Stunty and titchy to get there. Like, they're all about getting to a specific position without getting molested.
Yeah, and just...
And this is
I think that the ogres need more just control. Control the field. They're the guys that need to be blocking lanes and trying their best to impede the opponent from getting through, but...
And that's just unfortunate right there.
But yeah, I agree that he has to be hitting, but he needs to be hitting after the ball is secured. The ball and the ball carrier is secured.
It's interesting that he went at that angle. Because he's got sidestep, so he's going to go wherever he wants to.
True. What happened there?
Fractured skull on a ogre, apothecaried to a... I think he applied the smash knee.
So that's a movement, agility?
No. Smash knee is, I believe it's a niggling injury. You can double check though.
I'll do that now.
Oof. Badly hurt, and actually opting to re-roll that. Oh no, that was actually a smash knee that, it is a niggling injury because that guy just got one. He re-rolled it to a badly hurt. And then that.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yep. Ogre with a niggling injury is not that big a deal, though. They don't often get put down.
True. I like with my claw setup. I do like with claw and mighty blow.
Mm-hmm.
I do like those niggling injuries because it turns those big guys mushy for me, and then I can use that mighty blow.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make it any easier, but to pen. But once you do pen, it makes it easier to make it a long-term effect.
Yeah.
So 3 touchdowns.
That's strong.
I would argue that all 3 of those touchdowns were due to a extremely poor ball coverage.
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt about it. I think that he's been able to blitz the ball carrier almost every turn.
Mm-hmm. Gives the ball to the ogre. Default to what worked, right?
Yeah. Well, when in doubt.
Double both down. Reroll. Defender down. And now that,
I guess that's the big deal. He's just tired of getting hit.
Yep.
He's like, come at me, bro.
And now that ogre is not defended at all. So.
Is that his block ogre, or is that his...
Yeah, this is break tackle ogre.
That's exactly who you need to give it to.
Yep, but leaving him just defenseless like that.
He just doesn't like to apply protection to his ball carrier.
He had break tackle. He could have just rushed it back over here. I mean, I know there's no turns left, but just putting him in the face of the bloodthirster's not gonna... It's not any better of a decision.
I'm saying that as well.
Oh, break tackle.
That guy's not big enough to stand on his own. There it is. What are you going to do with it? Nothing? All right.
No, just double push. That's tough.
Yeah.
Don't try to go for the touchdown. Just try to hurt Snotling real quick. You get a 2-die against the Snotling if you just throw the block. Nope. Gonna go for the 1-star player point. Raj.
All right. That was a silly little game there.
Yeah, I don't think the Crazy 8's played their best game, and I don't think the Hills played their best game.
Yeah, but between the two of them, the Crazy 8's definitely made less mistakes. They didn't really have an opportunity to make mistakes. He just got the ball and ran it in. He was never on offense.
The big deal that the Crazy 8's focused on the ball as the game, where the Hills have the ball.
Yeah.
They didn't focus the ball as the game at all. It was kind of like a last idea. They were like, okay, I've thrown all my ogre blocks. All right, Snotling, go pick up the ball, do something with it. And then the Crazy 8's were like, okay, I'm just gonna murder that Snotling real quick and put this into the end zone. He's like, Ogres, keep hitting them.
One of my favorite stats right here: 43% ball possession, 31% ball possession. That means that there's 26% ball possession unaccounted for. The ground had it. For 26%, which is pretty damn close to 31%, to be honest with you.
Which means that the ground almost had more possession than the Hills have the ball. So that is almost an erroneous name. I know I'm being, a dick about this, but I apologize if it's not met with good humor. But it's just really frustrating to see a quote-unquote expert level team and not seeing the basic ideas of that team being used.
I feel that as well. You really like to see... I think that a first season Ogre team, you're going to walk into the league not expecting to do super well, but at least enjoy the team for what it is. But I guess that's a different mentality than everybody has.
I treat the Ogres team a lot like the Goblin team. Like, you're not going to win, but you should make it brutal for your opponent every game.
Yeah, just have a lot of fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was, like, as frustrating as it was playing against your Goblin team, it was really fun to play against them because you never knew what you in particular would have to get stuck doing, you know?
Mm-hmm. It was definitely just throw the 16 players up in the air and see where they land.
Sometimes it was on my dome.
Gay. And for that, I think we are done. We will see you in the final week of regular season.
I'm excited for it. Are you?
I'm extraordinarily excited. It's going to be pretty interesting to see who is going to make it. Group 2, the game we just saw, as participants in Group 2, is pretty much well decided on who's making it to the playoffs. But Group 1's still up in the air. Anybody has a chance at it.
Go big or go home.
Yep. So we'll see what happens. You can expect after all 6 games get played for Week 10, a post-regular season wrap-up, which should not be nearly as long as the mid-season one was. But you know, I've eaten my words before.
I thought it was ice cream that time.
It was delicious ice cream words. The word was ice cream.
Bird's the word, bro. Bird's the word.
In fact, yes. All right. Other than rambling, we are good. See you next week.
Later.